What's going on, y'all? It's Das, and I got some WWE 12 gameplay for you. I'm going to be reviving my old wrestling series where I kind of do a little simulation of a match from an upcoming pay-per-view. I started this series about middle of last year, and I really kind of fell off on doing it. But I'm going to be bringing it back this year in full force. So let's get to it. I know a lot of you guys are not even into wrestling, so you know, feel free to just click off the video if you don't want to hear anything about it. You know, make sure you like and favorite though. Don't forget that. But anyway, let's get to this. Let's get this started. The upcoming pay-per-view we're talking about now is the WrestleMania 28, and we got a couple of good matches, a couple of so-so matches. Let me just get into my opinions and my predictions right here. First match I got on tap right here is the Divas tag team match. Beth Phoenix and Beth Phoenix and Eve Torres versus Kelly Kelly and that chick from Extra, Maria Menounos. It's a Divas match, so there's not really much to talk about. I don't even remember how this match came to be. You know, they didn't have any build up to this match. It just out of nowhere on Raw they announced that they was gonna have this tag team match. Just look to see Kelly Kelly and Maria Menounos win the match. When when celebrities show up to do these diva matches, they win. Look at Trish Stratus and Trish Stratus and what's that little chick's name? That little ugly motherfucker. What's her name? Snooki. Yeah, Trish Stratus and Snooki last year. And then you look at Floyd Mayweather, even though he's not a diva, but Floyd Mayweather beat the Big Show 1 year at WrestleMania. So look to see the celebrities win this match. Kelly Kelly and Maria Menounos might win that match. Next one, we got Team Teddy versus Team Johnny. One thing I said, I don't really care for the storyline of the general manager, whoever gets to control both Raw and SmackDown. I mean, what happened to the old anonymous Raw general manager? What happened to that dude? We haven't heard from him in a while. But I guess they kind of just forgot about that. Anyway, this guy John Laurinaitis, man. Every time he comes on the microphone, I hate this dude, man. I can't stand listening to him talk. It's I don't know. It's just something about him that just rubs me the wrong way. And people say, oh, that's him doing a good job because he's supposed to be. No, that's me disliking him, not because he's a good quote unquote bad guy. That's me disliking him because I think he's a piece of shit. I don't want to hear him on the microphone. I don't want to see his face. So I guess I would like to see Team Teddy win. I don't exactly remember who was on Team Teddy. I know they got Zack Ryder and Great Khali for that reason alone, and they got Hornswoggle as a manager. Man, I hope somebody picks up Hornswoggle and throws his little ass into the fifth row of the audience, just for my pleasure, just for me to see that little midget get his ass whooped. I don't know why. Call me a sick motherfucker, but I like to see small people get beat up. You know, call me sick, but that's what I like to see. Anyway, my prediction for who actually may win, even though I'm not gonna like it, I think Team Johnny's gonna win because they got Mark Henry, Dolph Ziggler, and a whole lot of other guys who are a little bit better than the guys on Team Teddy. I'm not even sure all of the 12 people are in this match. That's how much I care about that match. Anyway, Cody Rhodes versus the Big Show. Man, I don't see how you can honestly have Cody Rhodes beating the Big Show without some kind of interference. And since Cody Rhodes ain't rolling with anybody, he don't have no tag team partners. I honestly see the Big Show walking out as the Intercontinental Champion. For no other reason that it would be absolutely stupid to have Cody Rhodes beat the Big Show one-on-one. And you think about all this entire build up to this match is Cody Rhodes, you know, embarrassing the Big Show, showing all his WrestleMania losses coming up to the match. So I think the Big Show is gonna get his revenge in the match. It'd be stupid any other way, if you ask me. But I think Big Show is gonna win this match and become the Intercontinental Champion. We got Randy Orton versus Kane, another match that was just thrown together at the last minute. In my opinion, the masked Kane that came back isn't the same masked Kane as the guy that debuted in 1998. You know what I mean? It's not the same dominant Kane. Well, not 98, 97, because he came in during the Undertaker Shawn Michaels Hell in a Cell match. at Bad Blood. So he's not the same Kane that was back then. You think about that Kane, and that's the Kane that kicked out of 3 Undertaker Tombstone power drivers at WrestleMania 14, and he kept sitting up and sitting up and sitting up. This Kane right now, even though he's more dominant than the bald-headed Kane, he's still getting his ass beat by John Cena. So by a simple attitude adjustment or an FU, whatever the hell you want to call that damn move. So I don't like Kane's chances. I don't like Kane's chances against one of the big guys of WWE at WrestleMania. I think Orton's going to win that match. Even though Kane should have a little bit more, in my opinion, Kane should have a little bit more in his tank. I mean, he should be able to go out and take about 6 or 7 RKOs and still be sitting up afterwards. But I don't think it's probably going to be 1 RKO and Kane's going to lose the match. Alright, we got Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan for the World Heavyweight Championship. Alright. First of all, before I even get into my prediction, I want to say that I do not like Daniel Bryan's World Heavyweight Championship run. I don't understand why all the bad guys in the WWE are total fucking pussies. You think about The Miz when he was champion, he was running around with that little dude, Alex Riley, whatever his damn name is, Alex Riley. And then when they gave Christian the World Heavyweight Championship, he turned into a little punk. He had keep having to sue people and all that silly shit. Now Daniel Bryan hides behind this little 60-pound heifer, AJ, even though AJ is fine as hell. But we got Daniel Bryan hiding behind a little girl. But man, if you're going to give a son bitch a championship and make him a heel or a bad guy, let him be like a real bad guy, a heinous bad guy. Like, you know, think about Triple H when he was a bad guy. Hitting people upside their head with sledgehammers, man. Breaking people's arms. You know, you gotta stop making these punk ass bad guys. I really don't see Daniel Bryan walking out as the World Heavyweight Champion. I honestly see Sheamus. I can see what'll happen in the match. Daniel Bryan will probably get behind AJ, and AJ might say, oh, that's enough of this throwing me in the way, and she might screw him, or Sheamus might kick her or something. But I do see Sheamus, no matter what happens, I see Sheamus walking out as the world champion. I think Daniel Bryan's reign has been pretty terrible, honestly, and I can see them giving the belt to Sheamus. I don't think they give him the Royal Rumble victory and not let him win the championship at WrestleMania, because I only remember that happening to Randy Orton, and of course he was losing to Triple H, so that's to be expected. Anyway, we got CM Punk versus Chris Jericho. This is probably going to be the match of the night, in my opinion. One thing I think about this little rivalry they got going on is it's Punk versus Jericho, where both these guys are calling themselves the best wrestlers in the world, but most of the build up to the match has been this psychological thing with Jericho talking about this dude's, Punk's mom and his father and his sister and all that shit. I mean, one thing that I noticed about the WWE as of late is their build up to these pay-per-view matches is a lot more passive aggressive. Like, think about I'll give more examples when I talk about Rock and Cena, but just keep that in mind that there's a passive aggressive theme to these build up to the match cards, and in this next match too. The Undertaker Triple H match, the Hell in a Cell match, this is another one I'm probably going to be looking forward to, because this is probably Undertaker's last WrestleMania. And I can't see Undertaker and Triple H and Shawn Michaels putting on anything less than a 5-star match. You know, we got Shawn Michaels in here as special guest referee. You know, he's going to do something. I don't know, man. Part of me says that he might screw somebody. But then again, you think about this as being billed as the once in a lifetime end of an era type match, so I don't think, man, you can't have a match like that with Undertaker and Triple H in there battling out as if it's supposed to be the grand epic ending of the Attitude Era, and I don't think they would have any kind of screw job by Shawn Michaels. So I think, you know, Shawn Michaels might get bumped into, knocked over, knocked out. You know, when anybody who puts on a referee shirt is instantly weakened, even though if he is a former WWF champion like Shawn Michaels, you put on those referee stripes, man, you are as tough as a feather. So I think Shawn Michaels may get knocked down or he may be hit, but I don't think he's actually going to screw anybody. I do see the Undertaker walking out. I can't imagine that they're going to go 19-1 with the Undertaker. That 20-0 is going to look so much more impressive, and I think the Undertaker is going to walk out with the victory and his streak still intact. So the last match, definitely the main event of this pay-per-view of WrestleMania 28, will be Rock versus John Cena. Let me return real quick to the passive-aggressive build-up to these pay-per-view matches that I'm noticing in WWE. You look at Cena and The Rock, and you get these two guys that for over a year now, they've been building this up since like the last WrestleMania. But it's been Cena and The Rock, and these two guys are supposed to dislike each other so much. But the only thing they've done is make promos about each other. Oh, and they started to sing about each other. The Rock made a little The Rock made a little concert, and John Cena had his little rap. Now, don't get it twisted. The Rock is my favorite wrestler of all time. My absolute favorite wrestler of all time. But I do not like the way they built up this match. These two guys are supposed to dislike each other so much. Not supposed to like each other. You see The Rock and Cena coming out each and every week. Oh, man, I can respect what you do, but I don't like you. And the only contact that they had between each other was at last year WrestleMania when The Rock hit Cena with a rock bottom. And they've been face to face so many other times. Why is it taking so long for these two to smack each other upside the head? How come they haven't been brawling with each other? One thing I want to compare the Rock and Cena build up to the WrestleMania 28 match is I want to compare it to the Triple H versus Stone Cold match at No Way Out 2001. The build up to their match at No Way Out. Now, during the point in time leading up to that No Way Out match, Triple H and Austin had to sign a contract, if any of y'all remember about that. Triple H and Austin had to sign a contract that they weren't allowed to lay a hand on each other, or else Triple H would be suspended, and I think Austin was going to the main event versus The Rock that year. So if Austin laid a hand on Triple H, he would lose his title match. So even despite that, despite the fact that they weren't allowed to lay a hand on each other, these guys had such a great build-up that wasn't just promos. It was, I remember Austin hit Stephanie McMahon with a stunner, and Triple H tried to beat up JR. I mean, these guys brought such a great feeling that you thought that these two actually wanted to kill each other. You know what I mean? When they came into the pay-per-view, and I bring it back, bring it back full circle, back to The Rock and Cena. You got these guys that say, "Oh, I dislike you, I dislike you." Now, don't get me wrong. I've been liking the promos between The Rock and Cena. The Rock's concert and a lot of The Rock's other promos were pretty damn good. I was even pretty impressed with some of Cena's promos, and I actually did like him returning to his basic thugonomics gimmick that he did for that one night. But they did not lay a hand on each other. Two guys that are supposed to hate each other. Well, they didn't say hate, but it's implied. Two guys that are supposed to hate each other. I find it so strange that in a wrestling ring where it's supposed to be, oh, well, I'm going to kick your ass at WrestleMania, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to beat your ass up and down the stairway, I'm going to beat your ass all around the ring and pin you. You should at least, punch the motherfucker. If you're standing within arm's reach of somebody, hit him. Don't just talk about hitting him. Don't wait 6 or 7 weeks until a pay-per-view match. Hit him. Let me get hyped for the pay-per-view match. I'm going to get hyped for this pay-per-view match, not because you're talking about, oh, I'm going to beat your ass at WrestleMania, and that's all you're doing. You're only talking. I'm going to get hyped for the pay-per-view match if one night on Raw, you just swing. And that's honestly how I thought the last Raw before WrestleMania was going to end. It was those two in the last couple of minutes, and they were doing their little promo, and I said, alright, now it's the last Raw, they haven't touched each other, let's see some brawling to end the show and go into WrestleMania, let me get hyped. But again, it was another Raw, another bunch of promos that was like, oh, really, is that it? Again, I did like the promos, some of the promos were really good, some were but I preferred people beating the hell out of each other. This is wrestling, not Dr. Phil. We don't need to talk about our feelings in the WWE. I remember them saying so many other times, this isn't ballet. Well, this isn't Dr. Phil. Let's pick up a steel chair, smack somebody upside the head, and put their ass through a table. Come on now. These two should have been kicking each other's ass since WrestleMania 27. Regardless of all of that, I am still going to pick Cena to win the match. It's just like The Rock versus Hogan back at WrestleMania 18 in 2002, damn near 10 years ago. It was Rock versus Hogan. Rock was the big guy in the WWF at the time, and Hogan was the old veteran. and you just switch the roles, man. Rock is the Cena is the big guy here in the WWE, and Rock is the old veteran. I gotta see Cena as the face of the WWE getting that victory. I can't see it any other way. Even though I believe that The Rock is a better WWE wrestler, WWF wrestler, sports entertainer, whatever you want to call it. I think The Rock is better, but I do see Cena walking out. I don't see any other way that that's going to happen. That was my little WrestleMania predictions video. If you are a wrestling fan and you still get down to watching it, me and my boys always on Twitter talking about, just, talking trash about wrestling, just talking smack, reliving the old days. And feel free to follow me on Twitter if you are a wrestling fan. I usually go on when Raw comes on. I don't watch SmackDown too much because it's taped and it's on a Friday night. So it's really terrible to try and watch SmackDown. But usually during Raws and pay-per-views, I start tweeting it out and start talking shit. So feel free to follow me on Twitter if you are a wrestling fan. There should be an annotation on the screen throughout this whole video, so you know what my Twitter is. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, this little series for the wrestling fans. I hope you enjoyed it for my normal guys who, my gameplay guys, my commentary, live commentary, people that really don't give a damn about wrestling. I apologize. It's going to be just more or less a once in a month type thing. The night before the pay-per-view, I'll give my little prediction thing, so don't get all butthurt about it. Don't get your panties all up in a twist. Anyway, regardless, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see y'all in the next one.